13.
Is there a link to the survey
on my presentation? It looks like it's this one here. So slide 6. Slide 6. Okay. So let me go back in here and see. 16. That's pretty close. All right, that's remember which account has access to this because it doesn't look like I have access to it. There we go. Summary. Okay. So here's a little, you guys know how to get to this part on your forms where you go form. I like this part. Go summary of responses. So that's where I like that. And if you have, I don't know if I gave you edit access. I think you need edit access to the form or the spreadsheet to see that. So, all right, so there's 20 responses, and I'll just show that to you guys so you can see it. So Google Docs, I live it. There's 5 of you, good. 3 kind of in the middle, so that's about, I mean, most of us actually are pretty familiar with Google, and then a couple of us that aren't real familiar with Google Docs. And then Moodle, we got quite a few that are kind of in that range of, you know, what's Moodle? That sounds funny. You know, that rhymes with noodle. What is that? So I had one of my students do a Photoshop project where she did this poodle, and it had a mouse head. It was this really, she did a pretty good job, a little nice Photoshop job where she said it was a Moodle is a cross between a mouse and a poodle, and so she had the mouse head on the poodle's body. It was pretty cute. I liked it. And so anyway, so if your experience with Moodle, so I've talked a lot about it already, but essentially what Moodle is it's a learning management system. Let me go ahead and get back to there. It's a learning management system that is used, it's open source. We have it available through ORVSD, where if you're a public school teacher, you have a Moodle at your fingertips, almost. I mean, it's like right there. It's just, you can just grab onto it almost. So you have a Moodle set up for your school, really. It's there. You just have to access it, okay? You would access that through orvsd.org. orvsd.org is the portal that will take you to your Moodle if you become interested in that and trying it out. So what? Can you say that one? Yeah. Yeah, it's orvsd.org, and that's who hosts our Google Summit. And I am part of the. That's the. I picked the worst batch. And I'm part of the training team for orvsd.org. And one of the things that the Oregon Virtual School District does is host Moodle for you. And so my district, I'm obviously a Moodle, I preach Moodle to the teachers, and I push it and I encourage them to use it. One way that we use Moodle in our district, and it's slowly kind of the snowball, well, maybe it's not quite a snowball yet, but it's a good size pack of ice, let's say. There's probably in our district, there's probably 15 teachers that are really using it, and they're using it a lot. But it's slowly starting to turn over, and we're starting to catch a little momentum here. Our district has recently transitioned to proficiency-based learning, and one thing that I'm using Moodle for is for intervention with proficiency. And it has been a great tool for me I am one person, and I can only do so much when it comes to reteaching and helping the kids out with what they don't understand. And so I post a lot of content on my Moodle that they will go and complete intervention assignments that will help them review the standards that they need to review. We also share one Moodle site. So all the biology teachers in the district, actually we have one site. And we all contribute to that because we all work together with that. So that's a little bit about kind of my district and kind of how Moodle is used. So with our experience with Moodle, it's probably now a good time to have you guys get into a Moodle and see what it's like. My screen is kind of a little skewed just because I don't have a great resolution right now. But the way, a couple things you're going to see. I'm logged in as a student, remember? One of the things you're going to see when you get into this site is this navigation stuff. And you can move this to the dock, which will get it kind of out of the way. So you can kind of collapse these things and then access them later. You can hover over them and then they'll pop up again. Help you navigate around to your different courses. I just have a couple things posted here. An assignment. See, it's got the little hand with the paper turning it in. This is a web link. It's got the little world there. And then this right here is, it's called a web page. So it's just an instruction piece on how you turn in a Google Doc. I went through that piece with you earlier. So what I'd like you to do is go ahead and log into my my Sandbox course. And so I'm going to give you a login to it in just a sec, so you can get in there and test it. Okay. So a lot of us do not have experience with Moodle, and that's okay. So that's why we're here. So I want you to log in as a student. So I logged in as student 1. So I'll just go around the room and number all of you off, and then you can log in. So you'd be student 2, and you'd have the same username and password. So student 2, password student 2. So you'd be 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. You want to, okay, and then 8, and then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And so when you get logged into my, sorry, it's all dark and you can't see it. I don't know why the color came that way. But Rob Sandbox Moodle is what you click on there from my presentation. You'd log in, and I would like you to turn in a Google Doc, okay? And I showed you how to do it earlier, but I also posted some tips on my Sandbox Moodle. Right there on the top, once you get logged in as a student, I have a link how to turn in a Google Doc. So if you want a quick review, if you don't have a Google account or anything like that, that's okay. I do have some demo accounts too, but that would take too long. So maybe you can kind of work with somebody nearby if you want to. But here's my reminder document that you can look at. Okay, if you need to be reminded on how to share a document, and then you'll turn it in right here. Okay, that's where you're going to turn it in. So it's going to say it's your assignment. You're going to turn in the URL to your Google document. So get logged in, and then turn in your assignment right there, which is a Google Doc of your choice. And I'm sure it's going to be something really awesome. I won't really give it a grade. Okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay. No stress. No stress. All right. Is there anything I can clarify with any of you? You're lost? Okay. Oh, okay. Go back to home. I think did you get logged in?
I was logged in as myself.
Okay, go back to there. And, okay, click login. Right over there.
Okay, so I did log in.
Oh, you're logged in too? Okay, good. Okay, so just go back home and go to My School.
And Rob.
There's
There's your assignment. Okay, you're good. Okay, yes.
You would turn it in. One cool thing, so those of you who are on iPads, I've tested this with an iPad and it actually worked. Now it looks way different because it gives you a mobile version. This is Moodle 2.2, which has a mobile version. It should work. I tested it. I was able to do it. It wasn't super easy, but it still worked. I was able to turn in a Google Doc with my iPad. So you guys can tell me if, how it went.
So
When you're at your school. Okay. Yeah, so if you want to, you say as a student, you want to turn your document, that would be in order. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. I have, you will still have access to this, yes. Yeah, you can log in as a guest. So you don't have to log in. You can see your online page as a guest as well. You don't have to log in. Yeah. But I have this sandbox open. And I have a bunch of other help files.
But as soon as I started trying to say, okay, I can change
Oh, you're like your own Moodle account or your? Oh, okay, yeah. Which is,
that's okay.
yeah, that is.
I know, yeah.
Multiple things, yeah.
But right, I was in this, but as soon as I tried to
Oh, okay.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's fine, because what I have on this assignment, let me clarify something here. So you guys, I've used this assignment for two different things. So I want to clarify something real quick. I just was reminded of how I had this set up. So there was one thing I was going to follow up with later, but I think, do I have two assignments in this Moodle? One of them should be just, let me see here. Sorry, oh, is this it? So click on this one. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I forgot to tell you this. This one here, the top one, is the one I want you to use. So we'll talk about, if we get some time, about Google templates, which are really neat to do with Moodle. But let's use this one here, okay? So I think that's what you ran into. You click the bottom one. Okay, so click the top assignment. The bottom one's on templates. Any questions or anything going well? Or yeah, edit submission. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's okay. So what you did is you pasted in the URL to your doc, which is fine. That's right, but you have to turn it into a hyperlink too. So that's one thing I have to teach the kids to do as well. And you can, a quick way to do it is just to highlight it and then click the chain link button. And then paste it into our
Just anything, it could be. And just something to send.
Right, or just on this.
So that turns it into an active go. The kids do the same thing, so I have to teach them to make it an active link, because otherwise, select it, paste it in the browser, and then it'll work.
She said, you're going to do the here. You guys see you're the best teacher ever.
Okay, right.
Oh.
And then on here, on that, like double click on that one. Okay. And then you click on this.
That's it.
Easy. So I even had it before that. So I just need to stick to my. And so now nope, you're done. You go, okay, so you go back to your, okay, so you go to your drive, and it's already stopped, it saves like everything. So then go to your drive. And then at the top, when you click on the document.
Okay. Is it under? And then when you use desktop version, you can share it.
So this works.
So when you click on.
Yeah.
And click share, it doesn't pop up the share. It does.
I'd say probably one more.
You guys like literally share a bed. I know. You got your own room together. Get a room.
And now copy that.
They're doing
I'm here. I almost sent it here.
But you got it, I think it's just select all the information. That's what it's good for. Well, now that you have it, okay, let's just click done.
Oh, it wasn't before.
And then that URL.
I have it. I will not.
Oh, no, this is. This thing's got 1,000 miles long.
Wait a second, when you do this.
So the.
You can do that.
Yeah, because the Moodle is.
There's a whole lot of that.
So with my experience.
We're also doing on the iPad. I was sure her. I should do something else.
Keeps it. So I make sure.
You're welcome.
Well, there's a mirror.
I'm setting up the site, so I have exactly full.
So you don't have your link yet.
I understand that.
Oh, it's so funny, like going from the.
Because I do Google Drive. I do. Yes.
So go and sign in that.
Okay, it's sure.
So you probably want to just open up on tab here.
I know.
I've done it like. I just we're at it.
I talked to Albany the other day.
I was like,
I was in Salem, and I'm like, I'm in Salem, and then I'm like, oh no, it's in Albany. You just like the first 2 years, oh, you should talk to Albany. It's very vibrant.
And you use your computer. No, I'm using it.
Okay, okay.
Go to Google, right?
Yeah.
And after you sign in, I end it, correction, yes. And then you go to Drive.
Which is like the
Okay.
and then
I'm gonna log in as a teacher now and take a look at all the assignments. Okay, so I'm gonna log out. I'll log in as a teacher, and now I'm gonna go grade my students' work. I can see that. Oh, look, all of my students have been being good students doing their work. So I can see all the online users. That's great. I'll go into my Moodle. And, okay, here we go. So I'm going to click on the assignment. And I have 17 assignments that my students turned in. So now I'll click on that link as a teacher. Students can't do this. So I'm in the teacher role now. I'll click on that. And now I see all the assignments that were turned in. Great. So student 1, oh yeah, this was me. I did that. Okay, let's close that one. Here is student 10. I'll click on that. Here's my awesome assignment with an exclamation point. Now this can happen. So what did they forget to do?
I forgot to share.
Forgot to share it. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. So, okay, let's try student 11. Student 11. Ooh, look at this. Islamic Empire portfolio. Oh, okay. This is incredible. So now I'm going to give student 11 a grade. Oh, it was 100%. Okay. That was an amazing. What you would want to do is share anyone with the link. So when you're in your sharing settings, you want to go anyone with the link can edit. Now you don't have to give me edit access if you don't want to, but that's how I have my students share with me, so then I can go in there and I can see revision history and that good stuff. So I can scroll down and save preferences. Oh, save feedback. I'm not going to do a notification because I have a bunch of fake email accounts. They would all. Anyway, so now when student 11 logs in and sees their grade, they would see the grade for that assignment, and they would see my very ambiguous comment that would not be very worthwhile to the student at all. That was amazing. They would probably want some more specific feedback on how it was amazing, I'm sure. So they can see my comments on there and the grade they got. Okay. So I don't have to go and look at their document on Google Drive and then say send them an email to give them feedback. It's all done through the Moodle system. It actually, when they're logged in, because the students use their Google Apps email, that's linked in with their Moodle account. Okay. And so when I say feedback, it sends them an email to their Google Apps account. Hey, this is what Mr. Saunders graded. This is what you got on it. And click on it and get more details if they want. So for me, going through this is pretty easy because I've had some experience with on-screen grading, and I can click, look at it, scroll down, and just keep going. And I can go through the whole class, save my feedback, and it's pretty quick and it's organized. It's organized. That's what I like about it. So, is any questions so far?
Is there any way you can get those grades into the grade book that your district has?
Yeah, our grade book right now is ESIS. We use ESIS in our district, and we're going to a new grade book system that will be much better and actually integrates with Moodle. So I'm excited about that. It's called Synergy. We're going to be transitioning to that next year. Right now, what I have to do, I'll go ahead and use this as my tool to help grade and organize. I can download a spreadsheet, and I can just do kind of a side-by-side screen thing, and then just go down and enter it in. Okay, I can't copy and paste in our current system. But the next year, I'm pretty excited about the possibility where I can actually integrate my gradebook with my Moodle site. And then whatever I put in here is in my gradebook. And that's with Synergy. It's called Synergy. Yeah, it's EduPoint is the company. Synergy is the name of the grade book. So anyway, what I have to do currently, and this is what you may have to do, is you have to hand enter them in. Now, some grade books allow you to copy a whole column of data and paste into, as long as it matches up. You can do some copy and paste out of Excel, because you can download an Excel document or Excel spreadsheet and then go copy and paste. So that's, you feel like you got a good look at, from the student side?
So when it gives you this this report, is this in time order or is it alphabetical order? Can you sort that?
You can sort it, customize it, because it's in Excel. It's totally customizable. You can see when the kids submitted and everything. I'm just going to refresh the page. Sure, why not? But let me just go ahead and download one. Okay, how many submissions do I have now? Let's see. Oh, I think I have to go back to the previous page. One thing that Moodle does is it has what I call, I think this is what they're actually called, are breadcrumbs. And remember how the breadcrumbs get you back to, it wasn't to their house, wasn't it? It wasn't to like the breadcrumbs. They're on their way to the woods, and then they breadcrumbed back. Yeah. Okay. So the breadcrumbs.
Well, it didn't work. Then they found a candy house.
Did somebody eat the breadcrumbs, or?
They left them in the woods.
And then the birds ate them, right? I mean, what do you think is going to happen? You should have used rocks. Okay.
Or like broken branches?
I get lost on analogies and all the time when okay, we went too far. So we had 18 submitted assignments. Let's download the Excel spreadsheet. So that's, okay, this is show, save, quick rating. Oh, I think that was up on the top. Download all, I can download all assignments as a zip, which I don't want to do. Oh, geez. Okay, how do I do this? One thing I'm learning, I've been on Moodle 2.2 for about a month and a half, and I'm trying to remember how you do this because it's a little different than before. So save, I did that. Let's see let's click on this button here. Download all assignments. So it's going to do a compressed folder. I don't think that's what I want. Go back here. Follow my breadcrumbs back to the main page. There is a way to download an Excel spreadsheet. See all course grades? That's probably it. Yeah, here we go. Now we're getting warm. So once I've graded them, I will go into the grade book, and then I can scroll down. Okay, there's a link somewhere. Okay, I'm thinking old Moodle now. Grader report. There we go. CSV can open in Excel. Open document spreadsheet. I'm going to try CSV. No, that's an import, export. So I can include which ones. Let's say I just want to look at the Google Doc assignment and submit. And then there's my preview. Let's download it. Oh, it's downloading it as an ODS. Okay. And then, yeah. Oh, I need to pay attention to what I click, huh? Anyway, so then there's my document. Okay, so it gives me their email address, gives me what they earned on it. If I had other information that I would have, so it looks like it would just be organized by alphabetical. So it'd be alpha organized. So then I could sort by their last name. See, Moodle is a product. It's open source, which means that lots of people contribute to Moodle and how it works. It actually originated not in the United States, and that's why you see sometimes weird words like surname, and that means last name in Moodle lingo. What?
The way they spell it enrolled drives me nuts.
Yeah, enrolled is with one L.
Yeah.
We're like, I'm working with teachers and they say, hey, look, they misspelled that. And I said, that's an alternative spelling. Anyway, so that's just some side notes. And then, so this is what I do. I'll download this. I'll have it sorted by alpha, do a little Excel stuff. Like maybe I want to hide all this stuff out of the way so I can just focus on what's important. And then I can, get my grade book up on this on left and right, and then I can just enter it into my grade book. Okay. So if you want to check out what this looks like as a teacher, you could even grade your own work if you want to. Why don't you go ahead and log out as a student? So if you're student 2, log out and then log in as teacher 2. Okay, same username and password. And you can go in there and see what I was just looking at, okay, as a teacher, and how you can grade on screen. And if you want to, you can go ahead and grade your own assignment. If you want to, give yourself a 100% for sure. Put some specific feedback comments in there would be good. So yeah, so log in as a teacher and you'll see the difference, and you can see how many assignments were submitted and all that good stuff. Did the iPad work okay to turn in your document?
You had to zoom in to get to the hyperlink.
Oh, it's not.
Adequately enough.
Okay. So you can see the editor and all that.
You could, but the resolution you have to get zoom in on the button. Just be quick and not click the one next to it.
So
But
it's
yeah,
a little
it's
clunky, a little hard, but
It's not too bad. Yeah.
okay, so did you get logged in as a teacher? Yeah, you're logged in as a teacher. You're in my biology Moodle, which I was going to show you guys in steps. So if you go back to home, and then and let's go on my Moodle, which are all the courses that you're enrolled in. So you're teacher 12, and you go into the same box. And then here you can go and see, as a teacher, what it looks like when all the students have turned in their work. Right there. And then you go to the 18th. Yeah.
I want to see the assignment.
Teacher. If you scroll to the right, you should say get the login as teacher. And then now you can click on the teacher and you can see all the submitted assignments. And you can make comments.
Is there a way to see?
click on my Moodle. Oh, you want to, okay, I know. Click on the breadcrumbs back to sandbox. So I was
That's my
talking
middle
about- Yep, so click on, yep. And then the top assignment, turn in your Google Doc assignment. Well, you're a teacher and you're gonna go check out that assignment. So now you clicked on it, now you can see the 18. Okay. And for you,
I see that.
click on the property.
Yeah.
And I haven't tried grading stuff on an iPad.
You have
You
to,
can see.
you have to click on grade.
You have to
Like the
click on-
menu options and the drop down menu don't work from the summary page.
Oh,
You have to go
okay.
to the right.
You go to the other view.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna be.
And then go to that individual student, and then the drop down, it looks like a drop down.
All right. So you have to go over to the right. So that probably see that. Would you mind showing us what you were talking about on his? Because he's in that same area on his iPad for grading.
So Rob, you kind of
There we go.
capture all your grades,
Yeah. So Moodle is this up there.
Okay, so now this is my issue, is that when I go in here,
I just, there's just some of that stuff.
I can't.
I don't have
My
one
issue.
of I can get to a computer lab. But a lot of what I do is like Moodle is.
You're capable of so much.
You just gotta really know.
This was a disappointment to education. I was thinking about retiring.
It's weird that it starts at the bottom.
But I understand, you know, yeah. Because I can,
Yeah, it's.
I can paste in my email there.
Yeah. Okay, so I was going to show you a little bit more real live page, Moodle page, which I have a link to. But I before I talk too much about what I do specifically with Moodle and with my students, I wanted you guys to try it out. Get in there, dig in the sand, just not throw sand. And you guys, none of you threw sand. That was very good.
I ate some.
You ate some sand, yeah, that happens.
Will you address, so when you first, thinking back, when you first used Moodle,
Yeah.
like what's involved in the setup of this, and did you do it through the Oregon virtual?
Yep.
Okay, and so what does that involve,
Well-
time-wise and experience-wise?
Yeah, see, I'll admit to anybody at any time that I'm a pretty big nerd. And I'm drawn to some of this kind of stuff. And so for some people, they say Moodle is just too far out of my reach, and I'm just not that geeky, and it's not my thing. But I've actually convinced people that that's not what they tend towards, or their aptitude is for, that it is a good tool, and they can learn it. And it's very baby steps oriented. And so when I start working with folks and kind of showing them, let's first take one step, and our first step is going to be let's post a link to a website on my Moodle page. And then next, let's try an assignment. And when you go and you create a Moodle and it's blank, I'll show you what that looks like too. But you go in, you can edit content. I was going to have you guys, since you're logged in as a teacher now, the next thing I was going to have you guys try to do is either A, create an assignment, or B, link to something else as a teacher, and how you go in and you edit stuff in a Moodle page. So it's just you got to do little steps, because there's a ton of stuff I do on Moodle. I do self-grading quizzes. Moodle will grade quizzes for you. and give the kids immediate feedback on where they're at with different concepts. I use that a lot. There's other stuff I do too, but this is just one part of it. So.
I just wanted to point out on the iPad issue we were just talking about,
Yeah.
if you go down to the very bottom of the page, it allows you to change the view. And what I
Oh,
did,
yeah, okay.
it brings that up.
Oh, so you turn,
So down at the very bottom of the
you
page,
did quick grading. So you went to, you
it
did
just
a lot.
said show standard view or something like that.
Okay.
So
Standard.
if I switch,
Oh, okay, so you
so if
went,
I switch back to recommended view, that's what's down there. And then at the bottom of the page,
all
it
right.
says, or switch to
Okay.
standard theme.
Yeah, so you went out of the mobile view, you went out of the
Basically,
mobile version, and then this version works a little better?
I haven't tried using it, but it's certainly.
Okay, it's a little better, okay. So that might be something to try, bounce back and forth on your iPads. If sometimes I have found that the standard view, because it does force a mobile theme if you are on a phone or an iPad. So you could switch back and forth. So anyways, to answer your question, sorry I kind of jumped around a little bit, but you just got to kind of start small and just do little things and a little bit at a time, because when you look at my page, I got a ton of stuff going on. And there's a lot of stuff I do with Moodle. So one thing I have set up in Moodle, because I shared with you a little bit that we have multiple teachers across the district accessing this biology page. We all contribute to this page. And that's kind of my vision for using Moodle, is that I have lots of people to reduce the work that it takes contributing to one page. We are all teachers. There's 6 teachers across the district that teach biology where I work. And we are all adding content. We're all editing to this one Moodle page. And we have one site for our whole district, okay? And we just went to that, because the way ORBSD sets you up is it gives each school its own kind of server. And so each school is very, it's like an island, okay? And so what I did is I said, I got to switch away from this. One selling point to my teachers now has been, hey, we're all in this together. We're all working on it together. You set up this assignment for this learning target, I'll do the next one. Or you create this quiz for this standard, I'll do the next quiz. And so when we started dividing the labor, and they say, oh, okay, so I guess it's not that much work to have a Moodle. And so when people log in, and you guys are in here, we have categories, and we can go into math, and I can go into middle school, and so I can see the other middle school classes, and some of them said, they're at Lorna Byrne, and this is another school. They wanted to have their own. I'm still trying to convince them, but to share the work. And so this teacher here, he's going crazy with his Moodle site. He teaches in a computer lab, and so he's just going all out. But if you ever run in, if you guys want to check out, later when there's more time, if you ever want to check out any of the sites that are on our page, just type in guest for the password if there is one, and that should get you in. So back to what I was just talking about, since there are many different teachers and many different students that are in different teachers' classes, I have groups. So Moodle even organizes all of my students, and then all of the other teacher students are in separate groups, okay? So when I go into biology and I click on an assignment that the kids turned in, let's see, I'm going to scroll down to this assignment, which was they actually uploaded a Word document that I mentioned earlier. I can sort by the different teacher. So this is actually Mrs. Harms in second period. I can click on, and so I can now go over here, and I can see the 20 submitted assignments in her class. So I wouldn't want to do that. I don't really care what her kids did. I mean, I do a little bit, but not that much to look. But I can just go ahead and see my students. And I can click on these other teachers and see if their students even did it. So one thing in terms of division of labor with Moodle and just teamwork, collaboration, co-laboring, I may post something that's decent, and Mrs. Wilson could say, hey, check out what Saunders posted. I think, since you didn't pass this assessment, I think if you did this assignment, it would help you, and you'd be ready for the retake. So if I had a perfect world, we would all be we would all be really contributing, but it takes training and time. But if you divide the work, I mean, it's always easier that way. So that's kind of what I've shifted to with Moodle, because initially, and the way ORVSD sets it up is that each school has its own island, which is kind of a bummer. And I talked the ORVSD into saying, hey, I want one site for the whole district. And it's so far, like I said, the ball is starting to roll over, and maybe we're going to pick up more snow, and it's going to be a big snowball running down the hill pretty soon. But there are several teachers now across the district, about 15, that are starting to use it. So for me, it works great, and so that's a little bit about groups and kind of a Moodle philosophy, I guess, if you will. So when the students log into my site, there's it's organized by standard and then the learning targets. So they can read that. The next thing I wanted to talk a little bit about is how I post handouts on the Moodle. So for me, it's easier to post handouts in Google Drive. And I'll kind of show you what I mean by that. So any kind of handouts that the kids will need to access, they will actually access it through Google Drive. And they could download it, print it, whatever. So I have links to my Google Drive folder, so I don't really upload a whole lot of stuff in the Moodle server. I link to my Google Drive. Now the reason for that, let me see what you think about this. Let's just say I want to, okay, let's just say I have a Word doc that I am going to post on my Moodle, okay? Word doc with important info. So maybe you want to work in Word. I can real quick go File, Save As, and I'm going to change it to a PDF so anybody can open it. And I have this thing installed on my computer called Google Drive. So Google Drive, for some reason, I don't know why Google did this, but
Good morning, everyone. The first session should be finishing up shortly. And a reminder that we have about a half-hour break and that there are some delicious cookies waiting for you in the comments, as well as bagels and coffee. Thank you.
so this Google Drive thing is a little confusing. I don't know why Google did this, but Google Drive is on the cloud. So I can save any file I want on Google Drive. Anything. 5 gigs free in our domain. You can add extra if you want. Well, there's also this little thing you can download and install on your computer called Google Drive. So when I want to post something on my Moodle, now what I do is I save it on my Google Drive. And what it does is it automatically uploads to, so I'm going to save it in here. Let's say I want to put it in this standard here. So I have folders in my Google Drive. I save, and now that file, in a matter of a couple seconds, that little icon down there is going to start flashing, and it will upload it to my Google Drive folder where I just saved it, and it will be updated. So I have a static link on my Moodle to my Google Drive folder. And so when I save it onto my computer, it automatically uploads it to the cloud where that folder is linked. Now, I don't know if I lost you, but it's download, upload. I mean, I think that's confusing.
You do the same with like Dropbox or Evernote?
Exactly, yeah. So it's like a Dropbox. So if you have Dropbox installed on your computer, you save your Dropbox. If you have a link to that Dropbox on your Moodle or your website or whatever, it's the same idea. And so I don't do much uploading to Google Docs anymore. I just save in my folder. If I'm online and I do an edit of a Google Doc, I save it into that folder. The kids will find it right in the Moodle because I have it organized. Okay. So anyway, I have a lot more information about Moodle. It's posted in there, and there's some really cool stuff you can do with templates in Google Docs and Moodle. But you have access to all my stuff. You can access the sandbox. You can email me. All my stuff is there. You can ask me questions. in some ways with the ORBSD, I'm able to meet with you virtually as well. If you want me to do more specific training with any of you on Moodle and Google Apps, happy to do that. So anyway, I guess we better go eat some cookies. Thanks, everybody. Sure.
More often than not. I just don't remember the name.
Wow, that's the right name.
I'm not gonna stop. Thank you for your